Hey everybody, my name is Asia and welcome back to my channel. Today I am starting a reading vlog for the Black Romanticathon. This is the readathon that I'm hosting with Mayana from Mayana Reads. It is the first day, the 6th, which is Monday, and we're going all the way until the 12th, I think.
You know, dates are hard. Math is hard. Numbers are hard.
Yeah, the 12th, which is Sunday. And we have a bingo board, and I'll pop that in. And I'm going to try and get blackout on the board, but I don't have like a set TBR. I do have some books that I have for other readathons, like Blackathon, which is overlapping because that's for the full month. And then also I do my TBR spinner wheel, and if you haven't checked out my TBR, I'd recommend doing that because some of the books from there that I got for prompts, I'm going to be reading for this week. But I also have a whole bunch of other books. I'm really trying to read a lot this week, and I do have school, work, all that stuff, etc. But I think that I will still have a lot of time this week from the vibes that I'm getting. And I just got out of a Zoom class. Normally this class is in person. I have 3 classes on Mondays and Wednesdays, and then 2 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But the one on Tuesdays and Thursdays, one of them's Pilates, which normally my classes are an hour and 15 minutes. Pilates is only 50 minutes. So Tuesdays and Thursdays are definitely a shorter day. I get out earlier and I have more time in between my classes. So I just got out of my Zoom class. I have another class in a half an hour, and I'm actually going to drive over there because I wouldn't make it in time, and I was thinking about not going, but I'm just going to drive because regardless I'm going to go to the library. If I don't think I can make it, then I'll just go to the library. In that class she doesn't take attendance or anything either, but I'd like to show up, you know, because also my 3rd class got canceled and they're just putting the notes on what we use, this thing platform called Moodle. I know a lot of people use Canvas as well. We use Moodle. So they're putting the notes on Moodle, and that's all that we really have to look at for today. So I'm really gonna have an early chill day today. And I was gonna intro this vlog earlier, but I got up late because I just really needed that sleep apparently. And then I wanted to like look presentable. And I'm gonna go over my TBR and stuff more later since I don't have much time. I have to go to class. But I'm gonna bring my camera with me, so maybe we'll chat in the car. But I will say right now I'm currently in the middle of 2 books. I started 2 books for the readathon already. I started both of them last night, and one of them I technically started before the readathon, but I needed an audiobook because I finished my last one. But the first one that I'm reading is Charming as a Verb by Ben Philippe. I'm not sure, but I'm 66% of the way done with this book already. I only have about an hour left on the speed that I'm listening to, so I'm definitely going to finish up that one today. A lot of the books that I have don't have audiobooks, so we're going to be trying to thug it, but I'm going to try and get a lot of audiobooks. That one is going to be counting for 2 prompts in Blackathon. I'm on Team Ocean. So a book with hate to love romance. This one kind of has hate to love for sure. Neither of them really like each other. And then a book with yellow on the cover. The cover has bright yellow taxis, so I'm counting it for those 2 prompts. And then for the bingo board, it counts to new to you author. I would count it as feel good read, black love, YA romance, and author from a different country because the author is Haitian. So it includes those 5 prompts. So we're already on our way to knocking out this board. And then the other book that I'm reading currently as an ebook, I just started it, is What a Match by Mimi Grace. That is the 2nd one in the series. I know the first one is Make a Scene, and I do really want to read that one as well this week. But What a Match I'm also reading for the X's and O's readathon, which overlaps until the 8th with my readathon. And What a Match is the one that I have for a book with friends to lovers. I know it's more like brothers best friends to lovers, but I'm counting it. And so I'm going to try and read this one first and then Make a Scene, out of order a little bit. But that's what I'm currently reading. And today, as I said, I have class, and then I'm going to go to the library, knock out some homework, and then at 8 p.m. tonight, I'm actually doing sprints for Blackathon. So I gave myself plenty of time. I was thinking about 7, but I thought I was going to get out of class at 4:15. So maybe I'll start sprints at 7, just a little early. I'll see later on, but I'm going to be doing the sprints for Blackathon, and then hopefully I don't have to do any more homework. I'm trying to get it all done by the sprint so I can just sprint and then chill out for the rest of the night. And yeah, I also wanted to show you, I just started to crochet literally on Friday. I just got my crochet materials, and so I was crocheting like some little like things just to like get used to the stitches, but I actually crocheted 2 little circles because I saw a tutorial on how to make little hearts, and you start with 2 circles. So this took me a while, so I wasn't able to finish the whole heart, but this is what I have so far, so that is pretty exciting. Really excited to continue that later tonight. yeah, so I have to head out and we will chat later. Hello, so I'm in the car. Hope this lighting is okay. I had to like zoom in, so I had to pay to park in this parking lot, but I park here because I drove to class. So I drove around to different spots trying to find the best lighting. Tried sitting in the passenger seat. It was just a whole venture, but I think this is okay. I'm a little further back from the camera, but I zoomed it in, so this is the best that we're gonna get. But I love when people do parts of their vlogs in the car, or they do whole videos in the car, so I'm trying it out today. If y'all see, I have a Megan Thee Stallion air freshener, and then it was like a clean scent, but these strawberry little trees are so delicious smelling. So as I said earlier, I had my Zoom class, and she basically just like lectured and then is giving us the notes. So I just listened while I got ready, and then I talked to y'all, and then I left, went to class, got some food, met up with somebody for a little bit, and then now I'm here, and my other class got canceled. Normally I get out that class at 4:15, and it's almost 4:04 now. So because I unexpectedly met up with somebody that I didn't expect to see today. I realized that I never actually clarified that I was going into my like TBR/options of potentials for my TBR for the readathon, and I just started talking about it with no context. So that's what's coming up next. So as I said, currently I'm reading Charming as a Verb, which is also counting for 2 of my Blackathon prompts. And then I am definitely going to be reading What a Match by Mimi Grace for the X's and O's readathon. And I would also really like to read Make a Scene by Mimi Grace as well. But there's no audiobooks for those, I don't think, or at least I would have to buy them on Audible. So I would have to read them physically or like as an ebook. And then I do have a couple other ones. So for my spins, I honestly got mostly romances that relate to this readathon. So first, for library, I got Fake It Till You Bake It, which is also the Blackathon group book for my team. So I'm definitely going to be reading that one. For hardcover, I put Now That I Found You. This is another YA black romance that I have in hardcover at home. Then for novella, I put Deeper, which is the second book to Go Deep by Rosie Adams. And that's only around 40 pages, so I definitely want to read that one. For another one, I put Blitzed originally, but I'm actually going to be putting the second book in this series, which I forget what it's called, Fumbled, I think. So that one for a used book. And then for continuous series, I put Grip, which some of these are not black romances. Grip is not a black romance, it's interracial, but for our readathon we're allowing interracial romances, which is something I'm going to talk about right after this. But Deeper is, Now That I Found You is, Fake It Till You Bake It is, and I believe Fumbled is, but I'm not entirely sure because only one person is on the cover. Blitzed is not. I know Blitz is interracial. Oh, that already is 5, 6, 7, 8 books. Yeah, so that's what I have going on. But I did want to talk about the readathon a little bit because me and Mayana literally almost got canceled, and I at least take responsibility for the mistake that was made, and I do want to address that in my video, just in case for a lot of people who don't know. I know for Black love, it's not just for characters, it's for real life as well. In movies where 2 characters or 2 people are in love and they're both black, it can't be interracial, but it has to be black. For me, I personally never heard the term black romance used before. Obviously I have heard the term, but I never found a concrete definition, and I did a whole project on black literature in my African American Studies class, and I never found a concrete definition for it. And people were saying how sometimes, you know, scholarly things are not always correct, academia is not always correct when it comes to black people, but I didn't just use that. I used sources like YouTube, Twitter, all of that stuff as sources. So, and I still didn't find anything. I did not specifically focus on black romance, so I didn't know, but what we were taught in my class is that black literature is a book written by a black author with at least one black main character that basically normally addresses black issues, but not always, because sometimes you just want black joy, but it has some sort of like black culture related in it. But not all characters in the book have to be black. People have been telling me that that's not true for black literature, but that's literally what my black professor taught me in my black class. So I don't know, but regardless, we still made the mistake because black romance has to be between 2 black characters, which I did not know. We literally, how this came about is because I was thinking, oh, I should do a readathon with Mayana, and I was like, okay, well, February is coming up, so, you know, we should do something black related because we're both black, and that's something that we talk about a lot. It's something that we discuss a lot, is just being black, blackness, stuff like that. We talk about it literally almost every single conversation, so that is a big part of our relationship. So I was like, okay, well, there's already Blackathon and other Black Readathon, so we should do something different. So I was like, okay, what about a Black Romance Readathon? So I went on YouTube and Twitter and Google, and I looked up Black Romance Readathon, and nothing really popped up for a Black Romance Readathon that I saw that was current. So I was like, okay, nobody's really doing this. Like, let's just do a Black Romance Readathon because of Valentine's Day. And so we really wanted to support Black romance authors. That's like the main part. And then also showing all Black experiences, because not every Black person is going to be in a Black love romance, and that is okay. I'm the product of that. Personally, I only date Black people. I don't really find white people attractive. No offense to the white people out there. That's just not personally my taste at the moment. You know, sexuality and attraction is fluid, so maybe that'll change in the future. But not every Black person is going to have a Black love romance, and especially with mixed people, us, we are on the rise as the biggest group, like the biggest growing ethnicity. So it's not even just like white and Black people, it's a lot of different groups of people getting together that are not been together, and we were just really trying to support all Black experiences and Black romance authors. And neither of us personally knew that Black romance meant the same thing as Black love. I don't know, I heard that this is a big discussion that occurs in the romance community all the time. I know that this is a really big discussion on Twitter. I don't use Twitter. I stopped using Twitter in 2020, and in 2020 when I did use it, I mostly used it in that year. I wasn't really in the romance sector of Twitter because I was 17. So I didn't really read adult romance, and Mayana, she goes on Twitter a lot, and she said that she's only seen this conversation once, and she follows a lot of Black creators, so maybe it's just not maybe it's the people that we're following that don't necessarily discuss this, but neither of us are super embedded in the romance community. We just wanted to do something that combined Valentine's Day and Black History Month. That was really the purpose, is to combine those two things into a readathon. And so we were like, okay, Black Romantathon, because the Romantathon is already a readathon where they read romance books. So we're like, okay, Black version of that, where we read Black authors who write romance books. And I understand the mistake. I completely take responsibility for also my video saying that interracial romances can be Black romance, but we really just meant for the readathon, you can also read interracial romances because it's more about the author and discussing Black experiences than it is about Black love specifically, even though that is a big prompt in the bingo board. That's why I put it in the middle. But we again want to uplift all Black people because all Black experiences are valid. So again, I take full responsibility, and I'm hoping that you guys understand a little bit more about Black romance, interracial romance, Black love, because I definitely did a lot of education and we're educated by a lot of people. With that being said, I'm not trying to tone police, I'm not trying to police anybody, because that was a big thing that was being talked about, but there was a lot of disrespect going on with the education, and there were plenty of people who very kindly but firmly educated me on the mistakes that I made. That's fine, but there was a lot of people who also were invalidating my Blackness, calling the readathon the pink meat readathon, saying that we were appealing to Black people, talking on our character, and that is very highly disrespectful. And there are people who are doing a lot. They were commenting multiple times on our videos, the tweets, retweeting, and posting on their Instagram page, posting on their YouTube community tab, and honestly that's a lot, because they were doing it back to back. I posted the video and I went to go make dinner so I could eat, because I didn't eat all day. So I wasn't on my phone. People were really bombarding us, wanting us to change it, and that's fine to try and educate us and change it. But people were really, the same people were going in, and we told them, oh, we see your message, we see it. They kept still doing the same shit over and over, commenting and doing stuff on other platforms, which if that's what you feel like you need to do, fine. But at the same time, is we need a time to talk about what we were going to do and what we were going to change the name to. The Black Romanticathon Readathon is kind of a bad title. I'm not even going to hold you. It barely even changed it. Now that I'm looking back, we should have just named it the Black Author Romantathon. That would have been better and conveyed the purpose of the readathon more. But we barely had time to even think of a title because people were bombarding us. And it wasn't even that many. It was like 4 people bombarding us, and it was mostly going on Twitter, and I don't even use Twitter. So I have a Twitter account, but my Twitter notifications are off. If you look at my Twitter, most of the tweets that have gone out in the past 2 years have just been from my Goodreads, and they automatically upload. I don't go on that app. I don't have it on my phone. I only have it on my computer, And as I said, I don't have the notifications on for it on my computer. Some social media apps I do have notifications on for my computer. So I just felt very disrespectful, especially because people were coming for my blackness and basically implying that I knew nothing about being black. I knew nothing about blackness. People were saying, oh, how it's really exhausting to constantly having to defend black romance. I understand what it's like to be exhausted as a black person. You don't need to tell me that. Like, there was a lot of stuff that I was being educated on, and again, a lot of people coming for my character, saying that I am trying to appeal to the white people, when literally that was not the purpose at all. It was just to literally show all black experiences. And again, I'm not trying to tone police anybody, but my mom, my very much black mother, has taught me to never take disrespect from anybody. If you want to firmly educate, if you're tired, I understand. Okay, but you don't have to be disrespectful and rude. There are two different things. And when I was calling people out for being rude, they were saying, oh, we're just having hard discussions. I have plenty of hard discussions. I've been educated a lot throughout my lifetime, specifically on black related things, because while I do embed myself in black culture now in college, it wasn't always like that. And I will admit that because I grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood with, at least up until I was 10, predominantly white schools. So yeah, I'm not the expert on being black, but my experience is still valid, and I don't deserve to be disrespected because I made one mistake. And I'm also very young. Mayana, she's also young, not as young as me. I'm 20. And as I said, I just started reading adult romance. I've been in the book online community since I was 10 years old, or 11 years old actually. I've been here for a very long time, and I have people who have said they made all these videos, whatever, and sure, maybe you did, but I literally don't go on book social medias that much. I go on here like a couple pictures, watch videos from the people that I really, really love, a couple a week, and that's it, because that's all that I have time for. I'm a college student who has 2 jobs, one of which is being an RA. I'm taking hella credits. I'm a double major. I'm in the scholars program. I'm trying to balance all these plates, upload videos, read for them. Like, I barely have time to go on book social media right now, especially because a lot of these discussions happen on Twitter, and I don't go on Twitter. And then on Instagram, all that you ever see is people's reels. So you can't even see when people are having discussions in their videos, because you just see reels of people holding up 3 books with a theme, and that's it. And I'm sorry that the algorithm is not showing y'all's stuff. There is a level of respect that needs to be had, and it was not had. I think having different reactions to racism is okay, but when people make mistakes, at the same time, you can't just come for their character 100%. Just because somebody makes a mistake, if you want to educate them on that, call them out for that. Go ahead. Talk about them on social media. I don't really care if people talk shit about me, to be honest. You could do that. That's fine. But at the same time, don't start coming for my character and assuming who I am when you don't watch my content and you don't know who I am. Again, so just to clarify, that black romance does need 2 black characters, and I believe a qualification is also to be written by a black author. Yeah, so I just want to make that clear. Interracial romance cannot be included in that, which is fine. I was never trying to include it in that. I just didn't know black romance and black love were the same exact thing, which people were not understanding. They were thinking I was trying to change the definition of black romance when I didn't even know that that was a definition in the first place, because it is not widely known on the internet. So that's all that I really had to say on that topic. And I did want to talk to y'all a little bit about Charming as a Verb. So as I said, I was like 66% and I'm 73%, and I'll probably get a little bit more over there. So in Charming as a Verb, we follow 2 main characters, Henry and Corinne, and they actually live in the same building and they go to the same school. They're both black. Henry is Haitian, and his family's actually really poor. They live in a rich building, but his dad is like the landlord type person. I don't think he's the landlord, but he like works for the landlord, and so they live in the apartment for free, in the smallest apartment in the whole building. And then Corinne, her mom has some money, and so they're a little bit richer, and they've never really interacted before. But Henry, he is actually like the popular kid at school, while Corinne is a little bit more intense and scholarly. But Henry, he's really trying to balance a lot of plates. He runs a dog walking business, and he actually kind of lies because he makes it seem like it's his whole business when it's really just him, because he knows that having like a whole company is better. So he runs that, and he also does a lot of extracurriculars on the side, because in their like really private rich school, extracurriculars are not extra, they are mandatory. And his dream school is Columbia, because that's kind of what his parents have always imagined for him and been excited for him to go to, is specifically Columbia. And so he is a senior trying to get into Columbia, and Corinne is trying to get into really good schools as well, but she has not really had the best recommendation because she's a little bit intense and doesn't really socialize with her peers. Corinne actually blackmails Henry because she finds out about his business and how he basically lies about it. So she blackmails him to basically help her change her image at school and become a bit more social so she can get a better recommendation. And he actually walks her dog as well. He is her dog walker, and they kind of get more than they bargained for, and they start to have a little romance and start to develop feelings for each other. And it is super cute. I really enjoy in this book how we are following mostly Henry's perspective. He's definitely the main character of the book. We get really only his perspective, and I really enjoy that because I feel like we never really have that in romance where we are mostly getting the perspective of a man. I know it like in the Bromance book club, that's been a thing as well, but this book is actually written by a man, so I appreciate that representation because we don't really see men writing straight romances and then also writing them from the perspective of a man. It just doesn't really happen. So I'm really enjoying having Henry's perspective, and obviously I feel like it's very realistic to how boys must think because it's written by a man. Even though I'm not super big into YA romances, sometimes they do feel really like nostalgic. It brings me back to the simpler days where I didn't have so much stuff on my plate and I didn't have like, you know, adult things to worry about. I'm not like 100%, I don't really have like bills or anything like that yet, but I still have adult things to worry about. And so this kind of brings me back to the days, and even though this is a YA romance, it is a bit older for a YA romance, like they are seniors, so I not too far in the past went through the same thing that they're experiencing, so it's kind of nice to see the representation. And I completely understand both Henry and Corinne. I was very similar. I was very much like an overachiever in high school. I did a lot of extracurriculars, a lot of things on the side, and I was very much worried about college, getting into college, so I really am enjoying seeing that representation. And I think the dog walking is so cute. I love Henry's parents. I think that they really just want what's best for their son, and I think that is so sweet. So I'm really enjoying that one. I don't really have much to say on What a Match yet, but I do know What a Match does have at least the heroine going to be over 30. I don't know about the hero yet, haven't met him, but I know at least the heroine is over 30, so it may count for that prompt on the bingo board. So I'm going to go to the library, as I said, and I will talk to y'all later.
Don't take it personal, I ain't lying, I ain't hiding, I've been grinding, multiplying. I've been trying to get my weight up, staying prayed up, meditating and taking time away. You always posting up pictures, trying to look like you're winning. I'm writing rhymes in the kitchen, soaking the moments we live in, yeah. You got the nerve to be on me, faking your life for the IG. If you got my number, don't add me, cause baby, I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus.
Hi guys, so I'm giving y'all a little update. I know the lighting's not the best. I actually haven't updated y'all in a while because I forgot my camera in the car yesterday. So I didn't update y'all last night or earlier today because I don't normally drive to class. I normally take our campus buses. So I literally got up literally about 20 minutes before the bus came, got ready, went to the bus, went to class. And then I came back. Last night during the Blackathon sprints, I ended up finishing Charming as a Verb, and I'm low-key kind of mad because this is not a romance. It does not have a happily ever after, so I feel a little lied to, and it doesn't really fit the readathon now because it's not a romance. It has a romance in it, but it's not a romance. So I'm still counting it regardless because I thought it was a romance and I was just misled. And I put on the what's it called, the bingo board, the prompts that it counts for. I have this much of a bingo so far, so I have a bingo. I have not blocked out the board, and if multiple books count for a prompt, I'm gonna put it on there. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. It was super cute, and I really did enjoy the perspective following a boy. I really did enjoy the perspective of following a like boy during a romance, and I really liked the discussions around being a first-gen college student, the pressure that comes with that, and the things that you will do to please not just yourself but also like your parents. I feel like that's like a big thing. Now I definitely would not have gone as far as the character in the book. At least I would like to think I wouldn't have, but regardless, I still really understood where he was coming from, and I really appreciated that representation. And I think I got about 15% into What a Match, and I'm really enjoying that one. I know I talked about it on the sprints, but I don't know if I told y'all exactly what it's about. We have dual perspective, our heroine and our hero. And our heroine, she is kind of down on her luck. She just got into a breakup recently, a couple months prior, and she's trying to find a man to date, and she is trying to only go on dates with men that have 3 qualities from her list, but all of the dates have kind of been a bust. So her mom suggests for her to have a matchmaking service, so she goes and signs up for the matchmaking service, and she is like getting involved in that. And our hero, he is a boxer, and he recently got is the owner now of a boxing gym with his co-owner, which is his best friend. And the best friend is actually the brother to our heroine. And so it's like brother's best friend. I'm counting it for the friends to lovers trope because they really talked about how they didn't really know each other, but brother's best friend is close enough for me for the trope. And so she is kind of getting involved in this matchmaking service, but now there is like a forced proximity element because our hero, his like heating is out in his building, and so he can't live there for like a month. And he went to go live with his best friend, but they're doing renovations because they just moved in, and he's like sleeping in the living room. There's a whole bunch of dust and paint and fumes. So he ends up asking his sister, hey, can my best friend stay with you? And she's not like the biggest fan of him. She thinks that he's like pretty grumpy and gruff and just kind of like doesn't have much, not that he doesn't have much personality, but he doesn't really have much emotions, and she doesn't really like that. But he actually has a huge crush on her and has for a very long time. And I think this is going to count for the prompt. Characters 30 plus, because at least the heroine is 30 plus, and I feel like her brother is older than her, and they're best friends, so I'm assuming that they will be around the same age. So I think it will, but I will definitely keep a lookout for more information on their ages. But I'm really, really liking the writing in that one, and I just really am enjoying that one so far. As I said, I'm only 15% in because I didn't have too much time to read, but I started today listening to the audiobook of Fumbled by Alexa Martin. I am 3.5 hours in, and I have 6 hours left, so about 2 hours on the speed that I'm listening at, and I'm really enjoying this one. I think it is interracial. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is interracial. But this one is actually really interesting. It's about a single mother, and she kind of works at like similar to like a strip club, but she is a bottle girl. She serves all the drinks and stuff like that. And one day a customer comes in, and he is actually on the like pro football team for that town. I think it's Denver, Colorado. I don't even remember what it's called, the Denver something. But he's on that pro football team. But this is actually a second chance romance because they knew each other in high school, and she was pregnant with his child, and she texted him that she was pregnant in high school, and he basically responded saying that he didn't want the kid, that he wanted an abortion, and then his mom gave her money to go get an abortion, but she decided not to. And then her parents kicked her out because she was pregnant, and now she's been making it all by herself, and it's 9 years later because their son is 9, so maybe 10 years, but he's 9 years old. He shows interest in her and really wants to like get to know her again and get back into her life, and so she goes out on a date with him and ends up telling him that she has a kid and that it's his, and he does not believe her because I think what occurred was that text, he never saw it. Somebody else responded from the phone for him is like kind of the gist that I'm getting. I haven't completely figured that out yet, but that's kind of what happened. And the mom is denying that she knew that she was pregnant, but regardless, he is now just starting to get to know his child a little bit. We just saw like their first really like interaction, and it was super cute. I do really like stuff like this where kids are involved. I personally really like that in romances. Another one that I really love is Hero by Lauren Rowe and The Takeover by T.L. Swan. Those are two that I really, really enjoy. But this one has the football element and the children's second chance romance. But I'm really, really enjoying it, and this is counting for one of my spins on my spinner wheel. I'm doing it for a used book because originally I was going to do Blitzed, which is the third book in the series, but I didn't know that was a third book because I bought that one off Pango, and I don't actually own Fumbled, but I'm going to buy Fumbled from Pango. I just can't at the moment because I only have one card, like a debit card. I don't have a credit card. I do have a credit card in my name, but I don't use it. My mom uses it, and I had a fraudulent charge on my account, so I can't buy anything right now except at like Target because I have a Target Red card, and that's taken directly out of my bank account. But most things I cannot buy. I can only use Zelle and Target right now. I'm on the way to go see my dad and my family because today is my dad's 60th birthday. I'm supposed to have my RA meeting tonight from 8 to 10, but I told him I had a migraine so I can skip it. I'll probably be back around like 8 or 9 regardless, but yeah, so I do have a lot of homework I need to do, but I missed everybody's birthday last year except for my niece and nephew because their birthday's in July, but I missed my sister's, my brother-in-law's, my mom's, and my dad's. So this year I really want to try and go to their birthdays, because my dad, he turned 60, my mom turned 55 this year, and my sister and brother-in-law, they both turned 30, and I turned 21, and my niece and nephew turned 2. So like all of us kind of have significant birthdays, so I really want to go to all of them, and 60 is like such a big deal. The last time he entered a new decade, I was 10, so now I'm 20, so that's kind of crazy to me. But yeah, we're going to just have some Italian food dinner. I get to see my niece and nephew, and I finally will be able to get some stuff for my sister because we both play Animal Crossing, and she said she has a whole bunch of stuff on her island for me. I probably won't update y'all until I get back, because I don't think I'd have much updates. I am going to listen to the audiobook while I drive, so I'll probably get through like over an hour of the 2 hours I have, just because the driving to my sister's house is going to be like 40 minutes at least on the way there, probably 30 minutes on the way back, and then I'll charge my camera and talk to y'all, but I will try and film some b-roll on my phone. But yeah, I will talk to y'all later. So it is now 1 a.m. and I'm about to go to sleep. Well, I'm gonna read a little bit and go on Animal Crossing for a little bit, but I'm gonna be asleep within the next hour. But I wanted to give y'all a quick little update. I don't have too much to update on. I have about an hour-ish left of Fumbled, so I'm about over 2/3 of the way through now, and I'm really enjoying it still. I don't have too much to update on necessarily because it is a romance, like it's going through traditional romance stuff, and there's not a ton of plot going on, but I do like so far how there have been disagreements in parenting, but they've been fairly respectful to each other, and I really am enjoying that representation, and just seeing this man get to know his son is just so wholesome, and I'm eating it up. I really do just like this trope so much, and I'm curious to see what conflict they're going to create within like this last little bit, because they always have to do some third act breakup or something, and I hope it's not anything like that. And some really just cute things have happened between them. I'm not trying to spoil it, but some really cute things have happened within the couple, and I feel like the author is doing such a good job at showing like their relationship developing, but then also this man coming into being a parent and co-parenting with somebody else after not doing it for 9 years and having somebody all to yourself. And I feel like I'm really liking how the author is showing the difference in dynamics between those two aspects, and how they are co-parents but they're also in a relationship, and how that those two different aspects kind of differ, but also where they meet. And I really am just enjoying that aspect of it, and I had a really good time with my family. I didn't get as much homework done as I should have, because I completely forgot about one part of it, but my first class again got moved online for tomorrow. So this is like our 3rd class in a row, I think, that's been online, and then next week we're watching a documentary, like that's been in the syllabus that we were doing that this week, and so we're not going to be in class for like the next 2 classes all next week because we're watching the documentary. And then my Pilates class on Thursday got canceled, but we do have like an optional assignment that's due by Sunday, where we just like watch the video. We're supposed to do it with her and then write a 150-ish word response as like extra credit. So I'm probably going to do that, but I don't have class on Thursday, so I only have 1 class on Thursday. But tomorrow I do actually go on duty, RA duty at 5, and I get out of class at 4:15, but I'm only secondary, so there's primary and secondaries for being an RA, at least where I am. This is like the only place on campus that's like this. So we have 4 people on duty in this area, and 2 primaries, 2 secondaries, and we're just like split the geographical area. So the primaries hold the phone and they answer all the calls, while the secondaries are supposed to do rounds with the primary. Rounds is basically you go through all of the building floors and you just do rounds, and then if there's like an emergency and the primary needs backup, they call the secondary. But the secondary a lot of times don't really have much to do on their shift, but we do have to have those shifts. So I'm a secondary, and then we have an event tomorrow night for my building, starting around 7 or 8. I cannot remember. I put on the flyer 7, but I think on the thing they put 8, so I don't know, 7 I'm guessing. But when I get back, I actually have to go to Food Lion with our P card, which is like our business card, to go pick up this stuff because we're like roasting marshmallows and stuff. So I have to go pick up that stuff because that was my job for this round of events. So I'm picking up the food and stuff, even though I'm probably going to be on duty. Since I'm secondary, it's not that big of a deal, and since it's for another RE thing, it's not that big of a deal. Normally on Wednesdays I have therapy from 6:30 to 7:30, which I'm telling y'all because one, we need to destigmatize therapy, and I'm doing it more like a week in my life in college. So I do normally have therapy, but I have to text her or call her because I completely forgot. So I'm gonna see if we can either move up the time tomorrow, because the event is supposed to be at like 7, so I would need it to end by like 6:30. So I'm gonna see if we can move up the time or to just cancel it and have our one next week, because I completely forgot about it. Also, I'm going to listen to the audiobook a little bit while I do some stuff on my island in Animal Crossing. Yeah, I'm gonna work on that just for a little bit, probably like 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna read a couple pages of What a Match and then go to sleep. But I will talk to y'all tomorrow. So listen, what happened was last night I was just scrolling on YouTube to find my little ASMR to go to sleep, and I saw this YouTuber. She's really niche. She used to play Sims videos, and then she made a second channel. I'm not gonna say her name, but I really doubt that any of y'all know who she is, because her new channel's like gone through a lot of different stuff, been very weird. But she made a video about how her husband left her. And then there was 2 videos, and so total it was like over an hour, and I had to watch them. I was so tired, but I needed to watch them. So I didn't go to sleep until almost 3 a.m. again, and that is like a bad time for me. Once I go to sleep after 2, like I feel like I need double the amount of sleep. So like instead of just making up 1 hour, I now need 2 hours of sleep to make up for that extra hour. So I did not get up early. I literally woke up enough to do my homework that I had to do, join my class, and then my second class, I just decided not to go to it because I don't feel like driving over there, and I didn't have enough time to go to the library anymore, and she doesn't even take attendance, so it's not that big of a deal, and I have access to the notes and the recording, so it's really not that big of a deal. And then now I'm about to go to my last class of the day. It's at 3 o'clock and it's 2:09, so I'm going to get on the bus. But I wanted to update y'all because I did end up finishing Fumbled this morning, or this early afternoon, and I think I'm going to give it 4 stars, and I think I'm actually going to bump down Charming as a Verb to 3.5 stars because I really did enjoy Charming as a Verb, but it is a little bit forgettable for me, and I don't think I'm going to remember it past this readathon. I did, as I said, really enjoy it. It was really fun, but I'm trying to be a little bit more critical and not just rate everything 4 stars. So I think I'm going to rate it 3 to 3.5 stars because, again, I did enjoy it, but it's not necessarily like the best YA romance that I've even read. There are some other ones that I enjoy a lot more, because to me 3 stars is bad, but 3 stars is average, and I feel like it was like better than average, but average is really 2.5, so 3 is whatever. But Fumbled I'm gonna give 4 stars because I did really like it, but again, I'm trying to be a little bit more critical. I really want to give like 4.5 and 5 stars to books that I'm like absolutely obsessed with, and I did really like this one as well. I really like the trope of somebody getting to know somebody else's children or their own children later on in life. The 3rd act breakup kind of aspect I thought was reasonable, but it wasn't like my favorite. I feel like sometimes the 3rd act breakups or like conflict to me like truly makes so much sense that I'm like, okay, yeah, like this is like very realistic, and it was realistic, but like still at the same time it wasn't like my favorite. Like it still kind of annoyed me a little bit is what I'm saying, but I did really like the characters. I do really like them together, but I wouldn't even say obsessed. I just really like them together, and I would say I'm a little obsessed with the heroine, but the hero, how you know I'm obsessed with the hero is that I remember his name, and I literally was like, I don't remember his name, and then I remembered it's TK because the letters, but like that's the only reason that I remember it. So the book I'm going to read next is really short. It is the 2nd book in the Eternally Tethered series by Christina C. Jones. It's called Coveted. The first one is Haunted, which I read last year, and the only reason I'm reading this one because the first one I was not that big of a fan of, but it was still enjoyable. But the reason I'm going to be reading this one is because it's short. It's only 3 hours, so I'll definitely be able to finish it today. And then we do have the prompt that to read like a non-contemporary or like a book that has romance as a subgenre, and so this one is a paranormal romance. It literally says a paranormal love story on both the books, so that's why I'm going to read it, because it's short and it fits that prompt. And I was trying to think what other books will fit that prompt. I think everything else I could pretty much cover, but that prompt was the one that I was a little worried about, and I do want to try and get Blackout, so I'm going to read this one next, and it will only take me like an hour on the speed that I listen to, so I'm going to listen to it on my commute to class, my commute back to class, and then I honestly might finish it by that point. And if not, when I get back, I have to go drive to Food Lion to pick up stuff for our event, the grocery store. So normally I listen to it while I shop too. So with all of that 3 things, like getting to class, coming back from class, and going to the store, I'm definitely gonna finish it. And then when I come back, I'm gonna do some homework and stuff like that, and then we have our little event. So I'll update y'all later. It's actually really warm out today. It's about 70 degrees. So I'm still wearing long sleeves because I don't want to have to change for later. And later when we have the event, it's gonna get down to like, I don't know, like 60, like 50, 59, I think is what it said. So I want to make sure that I am wearing an outfit that's comfortable, and like I'm not hot right now. Like this is pretty thin, and I'm wearing jeans that have a lot of holes and aeration in it, so I'll be good. But I'm going to pack up my stuff really quick, put on my shoes, because the bus is going to be here in 2 minutes. It's at a good point. I'll be okay. So I'll talk to y'all later. So I low-key forgot about this vlog. It is like 3 p.m. the next day. It is Thursday, February 9th. Last night, we just had a lot going on with I had to go to the store to get all this stuff, and then I had to come back, get it all together, then we had to set up, and then we had to do the event, and then, yeah, and then I had to do some other stuff after, and then I came back, and I ate, and I tried to do homework, but then I didn't want to, and then I got in bed, and then I was on FaceTime, and then, do y'all ever get so tired? Like, I was so tired, like, I couldn't go to sleep until like 4 a.m. And then my first class today got canceled. I was gonna get up early to do homework, but then I went to sleep so late because I was so tired, like overtired, I couldn't go to sleep. And then my second class, I was just like, F it, and I just didn't go. All the lectures I recorded, that's why I didn't go. If I actually needed to go, I would have went, but I didn't really have to. So I don't know if that makes me a bad student, but I'm okay with it. I was sleeping, and then I watched my Jewish TikTokers because I haven't really caught up with them in the past couple days. The ones that I watch all the time are Miriam Azagui, that Gingy Do. But yesterday I did end up finishing, what was it, Coveted? And I'm gonna give it 3 stars. Something about this series, it's really not bad. I would still recommend it. It's just for me, like the paranormal aspect of this is just not my favorite. I've never really run into a situation where the paranormal or fantasy elements just like really were not for me, especially in like a romance. But this one I just don't really like click with it. So I'm giving that one 3 stars, which is what I gave the first one. I didn't have time to read any more of What a Match, and the readathon for that is over. But for me, readathons are like the whole month. If I finish the book within the month, I'm saying that I completed the readathon. Okay, close enough. So I'm going to try and read more of that tonight after my friend, because it's 3 o'clock now. My friend is going to come at 7, so I'm going to go do some homework. I don't have like a ton, but I'm going to get ahead for the weekend, so this weekend I can like get ahead even more. The only thing I'm behind on is my readings for my online class, which I have a test in next week. I also got the audiobook for Fake It Till You Bake It, so that's what I'm going to start next. So I'm hoping to start that today, even though I'm not really like walking around. That's how I've been going through audiobooks so quick, is just from like walking around campus. And it's actually really warm today, but it's cloudy AF. And honestly, like yesterday was just a lot, which is why I just didn't do homework or read that much, because so we have these things called community assistants, and they like run the desk, and they like do the packages, and they do lockouts during the day, and they're always sitting there, and we always see them. And she didn't live here, but she lived at the apartment complex right nearby, and she worked at our desk. She died. I don't know if she died last night, but she was found last night, and I don't know in what manner her death was, but it was just a lot, because like we've had a lot of deaths in my campus this year. Like this is like the 5th or 6th death, and most of those have been suicide. I don't think hers was, but a lot of them have been suicide. So it's just like every month there's at least like 1 death. So yeah, anyways, off that sad note, so I'm gonna get changed and go do some homework. I'm literally looking a mess, y'all, and I have not updated y'all in a while, but I don't want this reading vlog to flop. Like, this always happens, I've said this earlier, where I don't update and then I just never post the vlog. But I actually did try to make an update yesterday, but then I really didn't have like a reading update, and so I was like, oh, I'll do like a little makeup tutorial, but then I was like, nobody wants to see that, and it was hell long. So if y'all actually want, like, I know there was like a makeup and books tag that I did when I had my channel in middle school, so if y'all are interested in me doing something like that again, let me know, but I'm going to cut that out of the vlog. So today's Saturday, so there's only tonight and tomorrow left for the readathon, and I'm still hoping to finish the 2 books that I've been reading. I thought I was going to read more, but I still have read 3 books to the readathon, so hopefully I can finish those 2, and I still really want to read deeper because that's only 40 pages. So 6 books, 2 of which are novellas for a readathon. I feel like that's pretty good, and so I'm just gonna update y'all on like what I've been doing, because as I said, this is supposed to be like a college week in life with me. Unfortunately, there was actually 2 deaths on my campus this week. We just found out about one that happened this afternoon, and the other one was actually somebody that I worked pretty close with, so it's just been a little rough. I've had a very like chill day. I've been sleeping a lot, and I've really just been chilling, to be honest. I read a little bit, but not too much, because honestly I've just been sleeping and having a little bit of a sad day. Yesterday I went to work. After work I went home, and my friend Caleb actually came and visited me at my house because he lives only like 5 minutes from my parents' house. My glasses are gross. And then right after that, when he left, my sister came over with her kids, and we took them outside, and they were playing around, and they never really ran in the grass before, so it was just super fun, and that was like really the highlight of my day. I had a good day yesterday actually, so I had work, Caleb, which was really a highlight too, playing with my niece and nephew, and then I got Wingstop, which is another highlight. So I had a good day yesterday, yeah. And then I came home, got ready, and then a man came over, and he brought me this Squishmallow for Valentine's Day, and he bought me a Happy Valentine's Day balloon, but that's like in the living room, and he brought me some candy. So that was like a really good day yesterday, and I've just been trying to absorb that and relax today, but because I was super busy, like work, seeing people all day, I didn't read. So I haven't really read much more Fake It Till You Bake It. I was gonna listen to it to work, but I just wasn't in the mood. I ended up listening to music, and it was such a good decision on my part. Like, the music made me feel so good. I think it was like a really nice start to my day. So I haven't read that much of that, but I am now 45% into What a Match, and I'm hoping to finish at least one of them tonight. It's like 10, I think. My little clock broke, so I have to get a new one. But it's 10 now, and I'm gonna try and edit some of a video, but I'm probably not gonna go to sleep till 2 or 3. But my friend and I, we are gonna have lunch tomorrow, or no, we're having a breakfast tomorrow at Waffle House for her birthday. It's one of my friends, Taylor. We work together at Barnes Noble Starbucks. She's one of my really good friends, so I'm hoping to edit some of the video. I only have like 30 minutes of footage. I don't need to do the thumbnail and stuff. I just want to try and edit it and then finish at least one of the books today, and then finish the other book tomorrow and do the thumbnail, and hopefully read deeper tomorrow, and probably do some homework as well, because I don't technically have to at all, but I don't want to like get behind. Like, I'd rather just keep doing work and like being a little bit ahead than getting behind and starting to feel anxious. And for What a Match, I'm really enjoying it. I feel like What a Match and Fake It Till You Bake It are kind of having similar beats, with a black man who owns a business. So in What a Match, it is a boxing business, and then in Fake It Till You Bake It, it's obviously a cupcake business. But in What a Match, so the main guy, his name Anthony Tony, and I do like him, which we do get his perspective, and I feel like normally that is like kind of what makes me attach to them, and why I do think it's really cute that he has this crush. He's still not my favorite yet, but I feel like I could definitely become more open to him, because he started to do sweet things, and that's making me really happy. And they just kind of are like starting to like interact, because they were really avoiding each other when they first started to like live together with this arrangement for the couple weeks that Anthony's apartment is unlivable. They were avoiding each other for like a week, but our main character, she's going on dates. So for one of them, she decided that she was going to invite them over for dinner, and she thought he wasn't going to be home, but she accidentally texted him like like dinner's at 7 instead of the other guy, so he ended up showing up even though he thought it was not for him, because her phone died. And he did text her like, I think you texted the wrong person, but her phone died. And when he came back, the smoke alarm was like going off, because she like was trying to keep bread warm and burnt it, so she canceled the date. But then they ate dinner together, and it was super cute. And then they one of her dates was supposed to be like this haunted tour of a theater, and the guy had to cancel, but he was like, okay, like I'll still give you the ticket. So she asked him, and he like hates paranormal haunted things, so it was really cute. But that's kind of where I am right now in the book. But I started to get really tired and falling asleep, so I watched some YouTube videos, but now I'm going to try to edit the video. So that one's super cute. As I said, I haven't really made any more progress in Fake It Till You Bake It, but they are kind of similar to me in certain ways. I'm going to go start editing my video, and I will talk to y'all when I have an update on the books. It'll probably be tomorrow morning, but I'll talk to y'all then.
You always posting up pictures, trying to look like you're winning. I'm writing rhymes in the kitchen, soaking in moments we live in, yeah. You got the nerve to be on me, faking your life that I had you. If you got my number, don't ask me, cause baby, I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. Baby, don't check for me. Taking time out to be and live my life off screen. Taking time out to be and live my life.
The sprayed edges. No.
Don't take it personal, we just building. It's the season, lay foundation. Make a name for generations, please and make a and take a break or a little vacation and chasing blues away.
Hi, so it is Sunday. It is 2 p.m. because I went out to breakfast with my friend, and then we always end up going to Barnes & Noble, and I spent money that I shouldn't have considering I don't have my card, so I had to put on my credit card. And my mom, I called her to tell her I was making that purchase. She was like, look at you, having your credit card for the first time and you're failing. And I know she's probably watching this, but I would have spent that money regardless, actually. So I'll show you what I got, but I'm actually about to film a book haul, and I don't know how I'm going to do it because I have books here and I have books at home, so I think I'm going to film, I think I have most of them here, so I'm going to film that part, and then when I go home on Friday, even though I'm going to look dusty because it's after work, I'm going to film whatever books I have there. So I got 4 books. These 2 were on a buy one get one 50% off table. So I got Road of Bones, which is an anticipated release I had for last year, and I got The Perfect Marriage because my mama wanted to read this. She got it on Kindle actually, because I talked to her, but I also want to read this. And there was, oh gosh, I did not like that noise. There was like really like 3 to 4 books on that table I was interested in, but I was really interested in like those 2 the most. And then I got Icebreaker, which I think is the second book in the series, and the first one is football, this one's hockey, but this was the one they had, and my friend, she also got this one. And then she also got another book that I'm interested in. Oh, she got Fantastic Land, which I really want to read, and she said that I could borrow it. And then I got episode 13, which just came out last month, and this is one of my most anticipated releases of the year because it's like found footage horror, and it's by Craig DeLuey, and Stuff for the Children is one of my favorite books, favorite horror books, so I definitely had to pick it up. And I'm surprised that they had it in paperback because it just came out, but I like it because it's cheaper. And then I ended up getting this sticker that says like Arcadia. We both got one because there was like a ton of different variations, like with different like national parks. It was like a camping one, but they were all in this art style, and I just love the water and ocean, so that's why I got this one, because the whale. And then I love Pop-Its because ADHD, and this one I actually, sometimes they're a little stiff, but this one actually pops super nicely. Most of the ones I have I've actually gotten for free. They give out them a lot on my campus, but the reason I had to get this is because it's like iridescent. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's like iridescent, and it was just so pretty, and it was only $5. And my friend, she has a Barnes & Noble membership, so basically the money that I saved paid for this, so that's why I ended up getting it. And as I said, it pops super nice. Some of the other ones I have are pretty stiff, so I like this one. And I'm also a good portion of the way done through Fake It Till You Bake It. I have like an hour left. I'm on chapter 21. Let me see. You can't see the percentage, but you can see that's how much I've read. So I'm like over 2/3 of the way done, and I am super liking it. I think it's really cute. I think I told y'all that it's about our main character, and she is kind of like a trust fund baby a little bit, but her parents cut her off because she doesn't really have direction in her life, and she's also dyslexic and stuff like that, so college was never really like something that she wanted to pursue necessarily. So she's done a ton of different things, and she went on a reality TV show, and that was kind of like their last straw, and they're now cutting her off because she actually made it to the end. It was like a dating show, and she ended up getting proposed to, and she turned him down, and that was like their last straw. So she doesn't really want to tell her grandmother because she doesn't really want to cause like a rift between her grandmother and her mother, but her grandmother does have like a trust for her, and her grandmother's super rich because she owns a football team. She inherited it after her husband died, and so she owns it, and she literally made it better and bigger and is super rich. And So she's like, okay, well, if you work for 6 months and you get a good review from your boss, then you'll get your money from your trust fund. So her grandma actually sets up a place for her to work. It's a cupcake shop, and the cupcake shop is owned by 3 of the players on the football team that she owns. And so that's where she's going to work. But right in the beginning of the book, she ends up going to this cupcake shop unknowingly, like before any of that occurred with her grandmother, and was talking trash about the cupcakes, how they look dry and how the vanilla is basic and stuff like that. And she had like a little run-in with one of the owners, and he acted like he wasn't an owner, and obviously she did not know who he was, even though he's a famous football player. And they had kind of like a tiff and became nemesises in a way. Kind of like, it's not really hate to love, it's definitely was just like a little dislike, a little rift to love. So she started to work there, try and be on her best behavior, but she's not good at baking, not good at doing any of that. Their shop was doing really good at first, but now it's starting to dwindle. Then this person comes in because of her, who's like a journalist, and knows that she was on the show, and that's why she's there trying to talk to her and figure out why she rejected his proposal. She rejected it and said she had somebody who she was thinking about this whole time at home, and that was actually a bold-faced lie. But then the owner, our hero, walks up, and the journalist is like, is this him? And she's like, yeah, and kisses him. And then that goes viral, and then everybody starts coming in, and the shop starts blowing up, and people keep coming in. So then they decide to fake date to basically hold her lie and, you know, keep it so it doesn't look like that she was lying, and for him to get more publicity. So it's super cute. I'm really liking it. I'm just not the biggest fan of the main characters. I don't think it's going to be a 4-star because something about the main character I just really don't relate to. And for me, normally in my romances, I do need my characters to be relatable in some aspect to me, and I don't know, I feel like she doesn't have that much personality. She just kind of annoys me a little bit. We can see how the last little third-ish goes. And now I'm like 55% into What a Match. I know that I was going to say, I know last night I said I was going to try and finish that one last night, but I was just chilling and editing my video. So I'm going to actually go make my thumbnail to post my video today, and then I'm going to go film, and hopefully I'll be done around 4 or 5 so I can finish up my laundry and finish reading, and then hopefully do a little bit of homework later on as well. So I will talk to y'all when I probably finish Fake It Till You Bake It. Okay, so I should have wrapped up this reading vlog a while ago, but the past couple weeks have just been crazy, and then I went into anaphylactic shock, and I was on a steroid that makes you feel terrible, like, and it's still like in my system a little bit, like I'm really not feeling well because I just filmed multiple videos. But I do want to wrap up this reading vlog. I don't remember where I last left off, but I did end up reading 1, 2, 3, 4 books for the readathon, and I think some of my ratings have changed because when I sit on ratings, you know, I changed them a little bit. So the first one I read was Charming as a Verb, which I ended up giving 3.5 stars. Because I really did like this book, and I think it's super relatable. I love that this was from the perspective of a male main character, but I thought it was going to be romance, which is why I read it for Black Romanticathon, but it was just a YA contemporary. It did not have a happily ever after, which I feel like is just a little, I don't know, misleading because you see like the 2 characters on the main cover, but I love that we saw like 2 different types of like Black people, if that makes sense. Not 2 different types, but you know, like somebody who is from poverty and trying to work really hard, and then somebody who's Black who also doesn't have to face those struggles. But it was a cute read, and I would definitely recommend it for young adult audiences for sure. And then the next one I read was Fumbled by Alexa Martin, which I ended up giving 4.5 stars. I really like this one. It was pretty similar to the first book, but I do like the trope of like somebody discovering that they have a kid, or they become like kind of like a, not like a step parent, but start like being involved in somebody's children's lives. I really like that trope, and this had that, so it was just really good for me, and I love Alexa Martin's writing, so it definitely was a hit for me. Then I ended up reading Coveted, which I gave 2.5 stars because I love Christina C. Jones' writing. It's some of my favorite writing, but something about this series, the fantasy elements just don't really work for me. I'm not a fan of them at all. I don't know like why, but her like fantasy paranormal elements in this series I just don't like. But this one was super short, so I counted it. So But it was super short, so I continued with the series. And the last one I officially read for the readathon was Fake It Till You Bake It, and I rated this one 3 stars. I really enjoyed like the trope and the premise of this story, but the writing was not stand out at all, and the characters, they felt really average. I'm never going to think about the characters. I'm never going to think about their relationship or their chemistry. They were just fine. It was just very bland. I feel like they could have done so much with this trope of having like a reality TV star, fake dating a football player who runs a cupcake bakery. But it just was bland. Like, the characters were bland, their chemistry was bland, and the story was bland. It wasn't bad by any means, it's just really forgettable. So that's like a quick wrap up of what I completely read. I also made it 50% of the way into What a Match by Mimi Grace, and that one I'm really enjoying. I still have not finished it, but I'm going to finish it before the end of the month. That one I really was enjoying, and I just really love the writing and the characters. I feel like it's very similar in some ways to Fake It Till You Bake It, but better, and I just really like the writing. That's basically the wrap up. I'm sorry that this was like a really quick wrap up at the end, but I'm not feeling well, but I do want to wrap this vlog up. So thank you so much if you participated in the Black Romanticathon. It was so much fun. I'm a little burnt out on romance for sure, but I had such a good time reading some of these books and getting them off my TBR. So we'll see what I do next, but that's all that I have for this video today. I hope that y'all enjoyed. If you made it to the end, put a little cupcake emoji, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye everybody.
I'm writing rhymes in the kitchen, soaking in moments we live in, yeah. You got the nerve to